Why do we have faith in God? Who gives us faith? God. Huh? We have a choice, y'all, as to whether we want to receive faith or not. That, y'all, is free will, but it is God who gives us faith. And we thank God and exalt the name of Christ because he's given us faith to believe in him, y'all, and to the work he has done on our behalf. Can we be honest? None of us can take credit for our faith. Huh? We simply have believed what God has revealed. He and he alone has taken the initiative in our salvation. We simply are willing participants. Do I have a witness? We need to thank God for God. You know, as Christians, we ought not ever reach a state of satisfaction in any of those areas. We ought to grow in our faith. We ought to grow in our love. We ought to grow in our hope. And as a result of our growing in those areas, y'all, we ought to be able to see what the Lord has done. You know, when the songwriter, the choir once sang, the Brotherhood used to sing a song, "See What the Lord Has Done." Huh? Y'all, that wasn't an external thing. Because whatever shows up on the outside is always has its beginning on the inside. And as we grow, y'all, we ought to be, looking at what God is doing, how he is growing us. I often hear individuals concerned about growth in what they see. And especially they determine growth in the church by what others do. When all of us are responsible for doing our part. And what we ought to always be looking at is in our lives is there any growth? Am I dying on the vine? Or am I being fruitful? Some think of the gospel as only the gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John. Some think of the gospel as gospel music groups or gospel preachers. But when the Bible speaks, y'all, of the gospel, are you with me? It's speaking of the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Christ. Because all of those acts of Christ were done on our behalf. And that's where grace comes in. I've done nothing in and of myself that merits the gift of the gospel coming into my life. You have nothing in and of yourselves that demerits this divine favor that comes from God. We must thank God for God. We must thank God for growth. We must thank God for grace.